How's it going, guys? This is Bill from Envision Motorworks. Today we're going to be working on the back. I'm trying to get the C-notch done on this, or close to it. Still waiting on all the parts for the front end. As soon as that comes in, we'll get everything rebuilt on that. I ordered new everything, new bushings, tie rod, ball joints, the whole 9 yards, and then we'll go through, pull the old one apart, get the airbag set up in it, and then get everything cleaned up, repaint the whole thing so it's pretty much brand new. But we're still waiting on parts for that, so figure while we have time, try to get the C-notch, set up on this. Gonna get everything measured out, and then try and do it on the plasma table. I could have bought, they make C-notches for this, just the square, jobbies that go around. I don't really care for those. They don't really, they work good, they're strong and everything, but I wanted something a little more aesthetically nice. I want a nice curve to it. So I'm gonna get everything measured up. Gonna cut out I'm gonna try and unbolt the springs, but likely I'm gonna end up having to cut them out because everything's so rusted out. These trailing arms are going to get scrapped. I'm probably going to go with a 4-link setup for the new rear end. But for now, I'm going to leave them. That way I can get the 4-link lengths, all the lengths measured up and everything, because the rear end's going to be in the same spot and everything. So I should be able to get all the measurements. That way I can just transfer it over to the new one. But yeah. Like I said, we're going to get some stuff cut out of here, start getting some stuff measured up, and design everything up in Fusion 360, and then cut it out with the Langmuir Crossfire Pro. Yeah, let's see what happens. All right, let's get to it. All right, guys, so what we're going to do here, luckily this frame has a nice straight flat spot right ahead of where the axle is going to come up. So I can just put a level on it and figure out how much drop I have from the lower side of this to where it flattens back out over here, because as you can see, it comes up and then flattens back out. So it should be pretty simple to figure this out. So I'll just keep my level nice and flat. I'll just make a nice spot underneath, and then I'll go ahead and measure from where this flat, how much it drops to here. I already marked my center line out, a loose center line on kind of where it's going to be. And then I figured how long I want it to be. It's going to be about 2 feet across, and the inside part's going to be a little more difficult because it's got that X frame where it comes up here. But should be able to work it in there, even if I have to cut part of the X and then re-weld it once it's in. But yeah, that's pretty much it as far as measuring this out. It's not super complicated on this frame, just because you have this nice little flat spot, and you can easily measure what the drop is, and the drop is 2 inches, so it's pretty simple. So yeah, we'll go ahead and get that designed up in Fusion 360. I'll probably do a little video on that just to kind of show you. This is pretty simple. I'm just going to do a pretty simple design, but I want it to flow up. So, all right, let's get it to it. Let's go for it. All right, so now that we got those cut out, kind of get an idea on what I'm going for here. Again, I got to get this spring cut out before I can actually set it in the proper spot. But just trying to set it in here so you can kind of see what was done. Let's see, there you go. So that looks much better in my opinion than a lot of the just square ones. Try and get you where you can see it here. So yeah, I think that'll look much better when it's all done than just the squared off ones that they normally go with. And we'll put stabilizer bars in between them, just to kind of strengthen it up. And it's actually going to be double plated on the outside, so I'm actually going to make 2 more that are just a little bit longer on the legs, just to kind of support it a little bit more. But yeah, it should be pretty cool like that. All right, so now what needs to be done? I can get this thing kind of straight here. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to try and get the spring out. Basically, I'm going to jack up both sides to take tension off the spring. I'm going to pull the spring out. Probably going to leave this janky coil over here, and maybe it'll hold it up a little bit, but if not, I'll just cut that out. I mean, it's all going to be replaced anyway. I'm just trying to keep the rear end in line right now. That way I can get this centered up, get it tacked up, and then go from there. Now the top on this is going to be a little different because you got this leg coming off from the X-frame, so it's kind of going to go into a taper and then go up and go down. So but yeah, we'll make a template of that and probably cut it out on the plasma table, or just cut that one out by hand. I'm not sure. We'll figure it out. But yeah, let's get the springs cut out. Get the probably go ahead and get these probably get these bars taken out, get everything I can taken off, and try and get this clear. I think I'm going to have to take this center section off, and I'll put in a nice thicker piece anyway. This is just like a sheet metal piece, a little, I don't even know what it's for really. We'll get that taken out, and yeah, we'll go from there. All right, let's get it. All right guys, so what I did off camera was I unbolted these the top part of these coil springs. The bottom parts I'm probably not going to be able to get out. The bolt's just too rusted out, so I'm just going to go through. I'm going to cut the bottom coil. That way I can pull the whole coil out. And then I'll probably end up taking off these messed up coil springs here, and or I don't know what these are. They look like coilovers, but they're, who knows what year they're from. They're not really holding anything though, so I'll get those off, and then I'm going to let it drop down on top of the bump stop here. That way I can kind of see and make sure that my my notch is going to be in the right spot, which I'm pretty sure it is, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. So yeah, let's get these coils cut out and see what she does. All right. One. Just toss it up there.
Hey man, how the hell you doing? I've been just fine living life with a newsstand in my mind. All I hear is watching your mouth move, damn you look stupid. I feel like everyone's a stranger. Small talk with your narcissistic neighbor.
That coil spring will tear your blade up real quick. All right, well, as with anything on these old trucks, the bolts don't come off easy, so we're gonna end up just slicing these off. I already sliced off the other one. It's just easier. You're not using any of the stuff anyway. I'm not gonna use any of these mounts, so there's no point in even trying to save them. So yeah, I'm gonna get these pulled off here. Like I said, I'll cut those off later. We'll cut those off afterwards. So, now the only thing holding this up is this jack. Move all the crap out of the wood. Let it go down. Yeah. I've got a lot to say. Can't hold it in this time. Got no filter. No filter. No filter. I got no filter. Looks like that's gonna work good. I got no filter. No filter. I got no filter. No. All right. Well, I ended up getting it into the garage. I got the rear end it's basically laid out as far as it could go right now. Before the C-notches, it's just the axle's just sitting on the frame right now, so it's pretty low. It's pretty, I like it, it's nice. But with the C-notches, it should drop it. I should be able to drop it at least another 5 inches, which will have it close to the ground. I don't really need it to lay out on the ground, just because I still want to be able to get, you know, it on the lift and everything, which really about 3 more inches, and it's going to be tough even getting it on the lift. So I may not end up laying it all the way out, just because I want to be able to work on it. Now I did pull out the torsion bars in the front end, so the whole truck's pretty much just sitting flat on the suspension right now. It's about as low as it could ever go as is. So it's pretty even. You figure I'm going to have another 3 inches up front with the drop spindles once I rebuild the front end there. So yeah, right now I'm gonna lift it up. I'm gonna pull the whole, I'm gonna attempt to pull the whole rear end out because I don't need it in here anymore. I already got it marked off where my C-notches are gonna go. So really it's just in the way. So yeah, I'm gonna try and get it rolled out, get it out of here. And I'm hoping with this thing all the way up in the air, I can still park my car underneath the front of this. That's what I'm hoping, because I don't want to leave the car outside. But yeah, let me see what it does when we get it all the way up in the air. I think I still have to cut a little bit here, maybe. Let's see. But I definitely like it. It's definitely nice and low right now. I think it'll be real nice when it's all the way. All right, now I think we got everything all unhooked. Had to unhook the brake line, had to finish unhooking this panhard bar and the drive shaft. So now I should be able to just lift up the truck and roll the axle and everything out. Let's see what happens. I've got a lot to say. Can't hold it in this time. Got no filter. I got no filter. 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 No filter. I got no. All right, that went pretty easy. Just had to unhook a couple things. All the bolts in this thing are rusted to shit, so it takes forever to get stuff taken apart, but it's just the way it is. So from here, I'll start getting everything laid out here for my my C-notches. Got some stuff I got to grind out, some little brackets I got to take care of. Then we'll get those tacked in. Yeah, and then we'll be able to get the new rear end put in. Start working on the 4-link kit. So a lot of that will be another video, and let's say tomorrow I should be getting parts in for the front end, so the next video will be trying to tackle the whole front end. But we'll get this C-notch taken care of and just keep it going. All right guys, let's go. All right, so now that we got everything out, we need to get this center section here pulled out, get everything cleaned up on the inside of the frame rail here. That way we can get the inner plates lined up. Once we get the outer plates, we're gonna need to be able to get the inner plates in. And that's gonna take a little bit of bending since we got this, this X-frame situation here. But I wanna get this out, get the old pan hard bar out. It's got a little bit of brackets and bullshit in there, so we're gonna get that pulled out. If you're gonna do something like this, make sure you get yourself a bunch of Harbor Freight cutoff wheels. You're gonna need them. Now, a better option would be to use a plasma cutter here, but the only plasma cutter I got is on the table, so cutoff wheel it is. A little more of a pain in the ass. That gives us all the room we need to be able to get everything set up here to be able to tack everything in and cut. First, we just got to go through, clean up all the frame rails here. So there really isn't too much other in our way. Mostly we're just going to clean up where these brackets were, get everything laid out, and then we'll start tacking stuff into place. Alright, well, I'm not going to bore you with me just cleaning up the frame here. I'll come back when it's all cleaned up, bare metal, and we'll start laying out where our notches are going to go. Alright, let's get it. Alright, now we got everything cleaned up. We got our measurements out from the rear of the frame rails here. So we know exactly where it's going to be on both sides. So I got this all set up. Trying to get it as close as possible to flush with the top. And we're going to go ahead with the MIG welder and get it tacked into place and go from there. All right, let's get it. Okay. Alright, all these little magnetic ground things fucking suck. I can tell you that right now. It's on good metal. Still not working for shit. Should be good enough right there. Now what we're going to have to do is try and fit the inside. So the inside's going to be a little bit of a pain in the ass because it's got the curve. So we're going to have to do some bending. I don't know if we'll be able to bend it without heating it. No. We'll find out though. I'm using the same material that the truck bed actually is, which is 1/8 of an inch. Like I said, I'm going to reinforce the shit out of it, so it should be fine. But no guarantees. So I want to get these tacked in place, that way I can figure out what this is going to be. That way I can cut it out on the plasma. Ideally. Now what I did is exactly where this meets right here, I took a just regular carpenter square, since this is pretty flat here, went across to where that meets, drew a line, that way it's the same on this side. Should line up. It'll line up close enough. Again, I'm not building a SEMA truck here, this is just a rat rod, so it doesn't have to be exactly perfect, but close as I can do it. Ideally. I don't want it to be all out of fucking whack. Alright, so my plan here is to take 3 pieces of copy paper, just regular old copy paper, and I'm going to try and make an imprint that I can use to make the template here that I can transfer into Fusion 360. Should work. So I'm just going to use my dirty glove here to kind of make kind of a template. You know, surprisingly it does work very well. And then when I'm done, I'll go ahead and I'll mark over this with a marker. But this is just going to kind of get it close. It will get it very close. Okay. It should be fairly close. I'm a little short on my paper on this side, so I'm just going to add, you know, let's see what we can add. So on this side, I'm going to add probably 2.5 inches, maybe more. Yeah, 2.5 inches. So I'll add 2.5 inches on that end, but as you can see, it made a really nice template. Now what I should be able to do is I should be able to take a picture of this, scan it into the computer, and make a template from that scan on Fusion 360. I've done it once before. It's kind of a pain in the ass, but I mean, as an alternative though, you could always just take this, put it on a piece of metal, and you know, cut it out by hand. But I don't want to do that. It's kind of a pain in the ass. Plus, I want to make 2 exact ones, so it's just, you know, it's easier to do on the plasma table. Plus it gives me practice on working with Fusion, so practice is always good. Alright, well, let's take this. We will get a picture of this. I may do a video on this, or I may not. I don't know. There's tons of videos online on how to do it. We'll see. Alright, let's get to it. Alright guys, so I got my pattern all laid out. I got it done in Fusion. I'm not going to do a a video on that just because it's such a long, it takes such a amount of time. It makes these videos too long. There's lots of information on YouTube as far as how to do this patterning stuff. So yeah, let's just get these tops cut out. I'm gonna cut out one for each side and try and get them put together. Let's go. All right, so now we got our paper template all done. We cut our metal out for it, just laid the template over. You could lay the template over and do it manually, or me, I scanned it into Fusion 360 and did it all on the plasma table. Then I just marked where my flat points are here, transferred that onto here, onto the paper, and then on the metal piece, I just scored the back side because that's where the flat part's gonna be. And then now I'm gonna attempt to use a bunch of C-clamps to try and get this formed in and then tack it as I go and try and see if I can get this formed all the way around here. Now where I notched this out here so it was easy to bend, I'll lay a bead across the top here just to kind of strengthen that up. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole gist of it. And like I said, the other side should be close to the same. It may not be exact. I may have to do some trimming, but we're gonna try it and see what we can get.
Scraping my mind against the cheese grater. Before you go, sir, you have to
Now that looks much better than the just square notched ones, at least in my opinion. Alright, well, I'll finish getting this tacked up and then we'll come back when we're just about ready to finish weld it all. Alright, we'll be right back. Then basically what we're going to do, I'll finish getting this tacked up. I'll do the exact same thing we did on this. I'll score this, bend it over, tack it as I go. And then when we come back, I'll have this all tacked up, and then that will probably be it for this video. I'll go through and I'll finish weld it all, and then cut the actual frame rail out, and we'll have to making inside parts of this too, but for the most part that'll be it though. That'll be complete. We'll be able to get the rear end put into place and start working on the 3-link, 4-link, whatever we're going to do with it. But yeah, all right. I'm going to get at this. I'm not going to waste your time with sitting here watching me put a bunch of tack welds in, but once we get back, once everything is all pretty much welded up, we'll get a couple good shots up close of how it's done or how it looks, and we'll go from there. All right, let's go. All right, guys. Well, we got everything welded up, cleaned it up a little bit. Still got a little ways to go on it. I'm going to finish cleaning it up and everything when I do the rest of the frame here. I got a lot of stuff to cut off and clean up. I still got to do my inside gussets here, but I wanted to get everything in here and see how everything was going to fit before I weld those in. But yeah, overall it turned out pretty good. I'm going to do some bars across here when my top airbag mounts come in. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Like I said, it took about, I'd say, 2 days from designing it, cutting it out on the plasma, getting everything cut out here and welding it in. So on the next video, we will be doing the 4-link setup as soon as it comes in the mail. It's just cheap eBay 4-link. Got that coming. Like I said, I got the bag mounts, I got the bags, I got pretty much everything for the rear end to be able to get everything welded up. I got tires for it, I got the wheels for it, I just got some old white steel wheels for it. But from where it's at right now, I got one little spacer in my lift, so if I take that spacer out, it'll drop it another 2 inches, which will be probably about as low as I want to go, just because I really don't want it fully slammed out on the ground, because when it's at full height, I still want to be able to use this as a truck. I'm going to haul with it, I'm going to use it as a truck. So but yeah, on the next go around, we'll be doing the 4-link and getting some other stuff set up for the rear bag mounts here. But yeah, turned out pretty good. I think it looks a lot better than the old square ones that you can buy off eBay. I mean, it works the same, but I just think in general, this looks a lot better. But yeah, I like it. All right, so till next time, I'll give you a little walk around here so you can see exactly what it looks like from all the angles. But yeah, till next time, let's go. So still got to clean it up a bit, but for the most part, it's pretty well done. It's got a really nice look from the back of it. And I'll put bump stops and all that in. Truck sits pretty low too, just right there. I mean, realistically, I don't think I'm going to make it go much lower than that. All right, guys, go ahead, like and subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next one. All right.